What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt Guy. Aye! And we are back with another One Piece reaction. And today we will be reacting to Kev D.O.G. This might be my first reaction video of Kev D.O.G., but this isn't the first time, I ever interacted with him at any length, right? If you guys catch the Cross Guild connection stream, he was one of the guests. That was my first time really chopping it up with him, though, right? But yes. So anyway, today we'll be reacting to Kev D.O.G. and the video we will be reacting to is titled "Oda Hid Another Joyboy on Roger's Crew." Now, before we break down what this could possibly mean, before we watch the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on the theory, your thoughts on my reaction. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did Kev get right? What did he get wrong? Let me know down in the comments. Also, make sure you are following me on Twitch so you can catch me live and you can engage with me in real in real time. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook if you want to connect with me. And the place I'm usually the most active in, right, is going to be the Discord. So make sure you join the Discord and come be a part of the community. That is going to be the best place to send me content to react to, such as the video we are reacting to today. Also, and if you want to be on a future discussion stream, right? Like I do post chapter discussions. If you want to be on one of them streams, make sure you're part of the Discord. Make sure you're part of the Discord, man. Anyway, okay, so Oda hid another Joyboy on Roger's Crew. Video from Kev D.O.G. Man, I never really actually thought of that. Like another Joyboy being on Roger's Crew, right? Like y'all know I got my thoughts. I got my thoughts on how the whole Joyboy inheritance system, if you want to call it, may work, right? How it may work. I think if anybody on Roger's Crew was another Joyboy, it was Roger himself. I think Roger was the Joyboy candidate of his time. I don't think he actually succeeded at being Joyboy, but I think he was during his era. I think he was probably the closest person to being Joyboy. And I think there were plenty other people like that. I mean, I guess you can say that Roger was Joyboy. I like to use the word candidate because I think, I think Luffy is the Joyboy, right? I think everything falls in line for Luffy. The timing, we know Roger. He said he was too early because the ancient weapon Shirahoshi wasn't around just yet, so he didn't have all the tools necessary to succeed. At least, in my opinion, in my speculation, right? I believe where he failed is he was just too early, right? And there could have been other guys that existed that carried the Joyboy will that you could call Joyboy candidates, or you could just say is Joyboy himself. But they were too early, or they failed in other ways, in my opinion, right? Like we know Roger said he was too early. Maybe some Joyboys got close and they failed. Nolan Montblanc, right? I heard of him possibly being Joyboy, and I think he could have been the candidate as well. I think I said that. I've said it. I heard other people say it. I think Nolan may have been a Joyboy of his time. I don't know if he was too late. I don't know if I think he may have failed because he was executed. We know that his kingdom pretty much executed him because they thought he lied because he said he talked about the city of gold, and we know what happened with Jaya and Shandora, right? We know what happened. He got shot up to the sky. So I don't know. Maybe his execution was where he failed. The fact that he was killed off, maybe that's why he failed. But from the looks of this video, though, it's saying that there was another member not named Goldie Roger in the Roger Pirates that was Joyboy. Now, again, I got a different opinion, So we're going to see what Kev DOG, how he breaks this down, because maybe he could sell me on this thing, because again, it would be contradicting what I believe. So let's see what Kev DOG has to say, because I am interested. Let's go. Also, the link to this video will be in the description box with all my other social media links. So y'all definitely go show Kev DOG some love. Let's get into it.
Many amazing and dynamic characters in the world of One Piece that it's sometimes hard to remember that a lot of these captains have crews backing them, and that these crew members are essential to not only their journey, but who the captains are as characters. Luffy would never have made it this far without every single member of his crew, and that's a fact, and that goes for every other pirate captain in the series. It's no wonder that the Pirate King, Goldie Roger's crew, was so massive, because he traveled all over the entire world in search for every single island. Sure, we know Roger, Rayleigh, Scopper, Crocus.
Do y'all believe that every single straw hat is needed for Luffy to succeed? Do y'all believe, like, if you took one straw hat off the crew, who would it be, and will the straw hat still succeed in achieving Luffy's dream? If you took one straw hat off the crew, who would it be? Like, I know some people might say Usopp, Nami, maybe Chopper, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Brook. I don't know. I don't know who you guys will say, but I'm just curious to know. I don't know. I don't know if they would necessarily, not succeed without if you just take one off. I know there are some important straw hats that definitely need to stay on the crew, such as Robin, Zoro, Frankie possibly, because he keeps the ship going. Like, he keeps the ship going, right? I don't know. I don't know if I would take any of them off. Nami as well. I guess you wouldn't take Nami off because you need your navigator. But who could you take off without it, like, impacting the overall journey of the Straw Hats in reaching Laugh Tale? Like, who could you take off? I'm curious. Nobody's Usopp, Brooke, who? Who?
But have you ever seen this guy before? This is Jackson Banner. I have searched and scoured every single chapter the Roger Pirates are a part of, and he's only shown up in one chapter, in one panel. So when I tell you that everything surrounding this character heavily foreshadows Joyboy,
stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
I know you're not going to believe me, but just hear me out real quick. JB is both important.
Yeah, man. Jackson Banner. Kev, you're going to have to do some explaining, my guy. You're going to have to do some explaining, because I don't know how this... I mean, I'm he is on the thumbnail, so I kind of figured he was talking about this guy. But I'm just saying, you're going to have to do some explaining, because I don't know how this guy is connected with Joyboy by any sense of the imagination. I mean, they do got similar initials. I guess you can say that, but let's continue.
and literally halfway through both the names. Jackson Banner has a whitish blonde curly hairstyle similar to an afro that covers up his eyeballs, and Luffy's hairstyle is obviously white and curly as well, just like many things in his Gear 5th form. Both of them seem to have smokes.
He kind of remind me of if you guys know Joyboy theories, like Jackson Banner kind of maybe not so much how he looks, but the fact that he got that eye cut off, and we know Joyboy theories. His logo is like it's a straw hat instead of like that poofy hair. It's a straw hat, and his eyes are cut. So
Surrounding
had to point that
with
out.
Luffy having a smoke ring, and Jackson Banner being the only member of Roger's crew to have smoke in the background of his panel. And most obviously, both the characters are laughing in these forms, but let's look away from that for now and go back to the individuality of him having his own panel. Jackson Banner is strangely isolated from the rest of Roger's crew, and usually these panels that are very small are used for transitioning from one scene to another. However, Roger is continuing his same speech right after, so it made me very confused as to why this would be important. That's until I saw that Roger was referring to Joyboy in the panel right after. Is it possible that Jackson Banner being isolated and put into a small panel was intentional, sort of a magnifying glass to look at this specific panel before continuing on to what Roger was saying?
I get where Kevin's going. I don't necessarily think. I think him being in a little panel by himself, they might be looking a little too much into it. I mean, I'm not trying to like knock it though, because again, the man does also have the initials as Joy Boy. Why would he be the one to get a soul panel? I get it. I think might be looking too much into it, but hey, we only 2 minutes into the video. So we still got a good 9 minutes for some stronger evidence, But I don't know, man. Right now I'm still not. I don't know if I'm sold just yet. I know it's still early in the video, but yeah, I'm not too sold just yet.
And unlike every other page in this flashback, the borders of this page are gray instead of black, alluding to this page being more important to see the small details than every other one. So why am I being so hyper analytical for one panel of one page with one character who has no dialogue and only laughs, and that's it? That's his only appearance in the entire series. This dude has to be just nothing, right? Well, no. This dude is the reason why Roger found the One Piece, and here's why. I decided to make a sub goal, 10,000 subs, and I get a One Piece tattoo. If you're interested, subscribe. Let's get into this. Now, I know
y'all go subscribe to this man so he can get a tattoo. Y'all go subscribe to it so he can get that tattoo. Let's go.
You're probably thinking, this is by far the most ludicrous thing you've ever said. This is more of an L than the Sarazawa video. And first off, no, it's not. Let me explain to you why I think this is the case in 2 simple words. Crew dynamics. Let's look at Luffy's crew in comparison
dynamics.
to
Okay.
Blackbeard's crew. Now, we already know a lot about the Straw Hats, so I'm not going to draw
Crew
too long on
dynamics.
this topic, but essentially, Luffy's crew isn't just a crew. They are a family. Luffy and the Straw Hats are ready to ride or die for every single member of their crew.
I mean, some like thinking about it now. I know I kind of cut him off, but thinking about it now, I don't know if it's that much of a stretch, I would say, right? Because we look at the current story, we see Luffy, and Luffy is looked at to be Joy Boy, right? Especially after he reached that awakening, the devil fruit awakening Gear 5th form, Nika, and then we get Zunisha saying Joy Boy is here, right? That whole scene. So we all kind of figure that Luffy is indeed Joy Boy. But there was also a scene that shows that Brook, right? There was a scene with Brook where this was back in Fishman Island, where he was jumping in the sky. He had the moon behind him, and the the pose that he made was the sun god Nika pose, kind of like Luffy as well. So we also connect Joy Boy with Luffy as well, right? We also can, or not Joy Boy, we connect Brook with Joy Boy as well, right? We do that. So not to say Brook is Joy Boy, but it's almost as like he got a lot of Joy Boy symbolism as well as Luffy, right? So the case could be made that Brook is also Joy Boy, like Luffy and Brook are Joy Boy as well. A case could be made. I'm not. That's not a case I'm trying to make. That's not a case I'm trying to make. So, given the circumstance, with my thing with Roger being Joy Boy and having a guy on his crew, kind of like Luffy being Joy Boy, having the guy on his crew that kind of represents Joy Boy or Nika in some type of way. Maybe Kev DOG isn't completely off base. Like that's all I'm saying. Because Brook does show a lot of Joy Boy symbolism, or not a lot, but he's shown some Joy Boy symbolism. That scene with the moon behind Brook, that to me that's a lot. Like that's very telling. Just that one scene, because we never seen any other Straw Hat had that level of symbolism connected with Joy Boy, other than Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Like Luffy is the only other one that has had that level of, or has had Joy Boy symbolism. But like Brook is the only one outside of Luffy that's had Joy Boy symbolism. You know what I mean? So, I don't really know if I want to say Brook and this guy he's talking about are Joy Boys, but if Brook has a bit of symbolism that is in the same timeline as Luffy, the guy we say is Joy Boy, maybe Roger had somebody similar to Luffy on his crew. Maybe it's this guy.
It's already happened multiple times in the story with Robin and Sanji, and even in scenarios where the crew doesn't get along with one another, like with Usopp in Water 7 and Sanji on Whole Cake, you can clearly tell that they care about each other no matter what and are willing to do anything. And even if the crew does bicker every now and again, like Zoro and Sanji constantly fighting with one another, they know when things get serious, they're willing to put all of it to the side to make sure that they care about Luffy, their goal, and making him Pirate King. The crew is also able to make fun of each other, joke around, and just have a good time because they know that none of it really matters. And even though Luffy is a bit crazy every now and again and drives them to the scary place or the dangerous place rather than going the safe route, they know they can trust in him because they think of him as a friend and someone they genuinely respect. And we can see that this same dynamic is present in Roger's crew, where everyone respects Roger. They do go on a lot of fun adventures, they love to party, make fun of each other, and have a dream to go find the final island. Although we all know him as the Pirate King, and clearly he can definitely hold a bone to anyone in the entire world, Roger didn't even have a boat, so he needed Rayleigh. And then he needed so many other people on his journey, as we could tell throughout all of Odin's flashback. So the dynamic between Luffy and Roger's crew is similar, which is perfect because all the Roger pirates find similarities to Roger in Luffy. So I wouldn't be shocked if Luffy finds.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the dynamics, having similar dynamics, and then you go to that point where Brook, one of the Straw Hats, have that connect. He's like implied to possibly be connected to Joy Boy, and if Rogers is anything like that, right? Especially if we learn that this guy that he's talking about is the musician of the crew. I mean, hey, Kev might be on to something. Kev might be on. I'm curious if he's going to point that out, though. If he's going to talk about Brook, Brook's symbolism to Joy Boy, possibly mirroring I keep forgetting this guy's name, this JB guy, mirror him to Brook. I think that would be, if he does that, I think that would be the most convincing argument for me. If he does that, right? If he does that, that would mean that he's kind of, because to me that's the strongest connection that I see, right? The whole Brook thing, and maybe this JB guy being like Brook. So if he points that out, maybe, you know, I might actually be a little more on board with the theory, you know?
Finds the One Piece in a very similar way to how Roger did. But now let's compare Luffy to Blackbeard. The first time we're actually introduced to Blackbeard's crew, we see their agendas plain and simple. They're only in it for the prize and not for the journey. And this is never seen more evidently than at Marineford when Blackbeard is taking Whitebeard's fruit. When Shiryu says straight up, if it fails, are we splitting up? Clearly,
Bro, that is a great way to explain the Blackbeard pirates, that they're only in it for the prize and not the journey. Cause I've never actually thought about looked at it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. Cause that's when, cause it's like it I guess mirrors Luffy, right? In the oppositely mirror, right? Like where Luffy his thing is he's more about the journey than the destination. Like yes, he wants to become Pirate King and he wants to go to Laugh Tale, but it's more about the journey, right? Like because if it was about the goal, then when Usopp asked Rayleigh like, "Hey, where's Laugh Tale? Where's the One Piece?" Luffy got angry. Like Luffy got angry. Was like, "Hey, like, no, like I don't want to know where it is. If Rayleigh sits here and tell me where the One Piece is and what it is, I I'm quitting. I don't even want to do this journey no more. Like, cause to him it's not about the end goal. You know, like that's important as well, but the journey is just as maybe even more important to Luffy. Where Blackbeard, that's kind of the opposite. It's like, you know, he'll take shortcuts. He don't care about the whole journey because he's willing to take the shortcuts if need be. He's just trying to accomplish his goals. You know what I mean? As quick as possible. Like that's the type of character I see Blackbeard. So that's actually an interesting point he made as far as Blackbeard and Luffy, or Blackbeard in general.
none of the Blackbeard pirates have any investment in one another, and only are caring about the prize at the end of the journey, the One Piece. None of them have any investment in personal growth for one another, any investment in actually caring about one another. They're all in it for one single goal, which is incredibly similar to what Rocks was in the past. And I personally believe that the fate of the Blackbeard pirates will be incredibly similar to the fate of the Rocks pirates, where both the crews don't really want to talk about their time involved with one another. And I believe that this fall off of the Blackbeard pirates will happen at the moment that they reach Laugh Tale, and they all start to betray one another in an effort to get the One Piece. However, their idea of what the One Piece is
That's actually an interesting stuff. That's an interesting statement right there. Like, if when they get the Laugh Tale, they all start betraying each other. Like they're all using Blackbeard to get the, like they all want to get the One Piece for themselves, but they're just using Blackbeard. But Blackbeard, I would think that even if that was the case, Blackbeard might know about that. Like Blackbeard might be aware of that, and he might have some type of countermeasure against them trying to betray him to get the One Piece. I don't know what that countermeasure would be, but like, you know, it'll be interesting to see.
isn't actually going to be the One Piece at all. The Blackbeard pirates are very superficial, vain, and immature. If someone on Blackbeard's crew tried to teasingly make fun of another member, I assume they would be dead within literally less than a few minutes. They'll see Roger's treasure that he left on Laugh Tale and assume that's the One Piece, when the real One Piece is something minor and insignificant, similar to the story of the Holy Grail, where there were many, many golden lavish cups surrounding the Holy Grail, but the real Holy Grail was pretty insignificant looking in comparison, because it's the meaning of the object, not the object itself, that's important. It's also possible that the scenario could play out like this. They get to Laugh Tale and there's
I kind of, I don't, I kind of disagree with him on that when it's what the One Piece would be. I don't think it would be insignificant. I kind of disagree with that because I kind of agree. I kind of agree. I don't think it would be insignificant. I think the One Piece, when we learn what the One Piece is, I think it'll be something along the line like, if you're not Joyboy, you may not even be able to use it. Like maybe the purpose of what the One Piece is may not necessarily be pleasing to Blackbeard, right? Like what do I mean? Like in order, like the One Piece might be used for something good, and like for Blackbeard, when he find out what the One Piece is, he be like, bro, like I can't use this because this is supposed to be used to save the world. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm trying to take over the world. I can't use this to take over the world. Something along that line. Like maybe the One Piece's purpose isn't going to fulfill Blackbeard, I guess. Like it's not going to be in conjunction with he's trying to achieve in his life. That's what I think that's what I think about the One Piece. I think it's going to be something that like it's either going to be something that it's not going to interest Blackbeard because its use is going to be like its use isn't going to be in line with what Blackbeard is trying to achieve, or Blackbeard won't be able to use it at all because you may have to be Joyboy in order to use it. You know what I mean? Like maybe the sun god Nika devil fruit activates it, and if you don't got that specific devil fruit, then you can't activate it. You can't use it. Something along that line, you know.
absolutely nothing on the island, causing them to completely come into a frenzy, start attacking one another, and realizing that Roger played them, when in fact the One Piece is actually there, they just didn't realize it. This is very similar to the chapter with Gaimon all the way at the beginning of the story, where you discover that the real treasure isn't the treasure you've been searching for, but what's on the island already. Luckily, we know that the One Piece is actually an item that Roger saw and laughed at, so this had me thinking. What's something that both Luffy and Roger might experience that Blackbeard might not? And this made me think about the way that their crews interact with one another, and that led me to one final solution. The way that I think Luffy and Roger found the One Piece, but Blackbeard won't. And that's by having friends. And I know that might sound kinda corny. That makes it seem like the One Piece is the friends they made along the way, and in essence, it is. However, this outcome allows the One Piece to be something a lot grander than just some meaningful message, and being a physical object in this world, only achieved by the friends that they made along the way, which I think is a really great way of going about it. But then, what do I think the One Piece actually is? I personally think it's going to be an insignificant object that was only able to be found by Luffy and Roger, and I think that Blackbeard won't be able to find it because of his lack of friends. So I have ideas of what the One Piece could be found.
That's interesting though. That is pretty. That's an interesting way to, look at what the One Piece could be. Like you need friends to find it. I can see something along that line happening. I don't know if I agree that it will be insignificant. I just like the finding it because you have friends part I could kind of agree with, but I don't know if I think it's going to be like insignificant. At least insignificant in its use, maybe like it will it look insignificant? Maybe I could agree that it may look insignificant, but I don't think it's going to be insignificant. You know what I mean? I don't think it will be insignificant, like as far as what they're going to use it for. But then again, Roger did laugh, so I mean, if it is insignificant, if it is something that's looks or is insignificant, that could actually explain why Roger was laughing. So, maybe he's not, maybe he's actually on to something with that.
However, I don't have an idea of what the One Piece could be. That is until I saw Dax Sake's Laugh Row Tale video. The One Piece is an afro might sound absolutely insane and completely ridiculous, but he gives a lot of great evidence as to why this would be the case, and I definitely think this is a possibility for what the One Piece is going to be. And this sort of cemented a new idea into place. And yes, it all comes down to Jackson Banner. Jackson Banner has a whitish blonde curly hairstyle, similar to an afro. Hopefully you didn't forget about him. But what are the afro connections between Roger and Luffy's crew? Luffy has Brook, who is an afro as a major part of not only his backstory, but his character design. And we have Jackson Banner, who coincidentally just so happens to have an afro. And all these connections to Joyboy. Yes, Roger.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I was waiting on him to bring up Brook, and now he's finally brought up Brook. So, hey, yeah, let's go. Let's go. He finally brought up Brook. I've been waiting on this moment with Brook.
Roger and Luffy both have crew members with afros, but is that enough to make a distinct point on how exactly they're going to find the One Piece? In my honest opinion, no. But it's the fact that Luffy and Roger's crews both share this joyful and comical nature, and as a result, I definitely think that Luffy and his crew will laugh when seeing the One Piece as well. But how exactly did they find the One Piece? Simple. By making fun of the people with the afros. Throughout One Piece, Luffy has been prone to do impressions of other members of the Straw Hat crew, but I think when Luffy sees an afro on the ground on Laugh Tale, his immediate reaction will be to put it on and say that he's Brook. I personally believe that Roger might have gone through this exact same scenario, with Jackson Banner being made fun of because of his afro. But there's even the option of Luffy putting it on and remembering his time as Afro Luffy, which would be a great moment to show that the journey is indeed more important than the destination, opposing Blackbeard's fundamental beliefs. Blackbeard's crew is always so serious, only focusing on the One Piece itself and not the journey to get to the One Piece. As a result, they stop caring about trying to get to know each other and really feel comfortable around each other, which in turn makes them not actually realize what the true One Piece actually is. Only when people are willing to just let go and be able to have some fun, they'll be able to find the real One Piece, which was something nobody would have ever expected. While the Afro Tale example is something that's a bit more concrete, I definitely think that the One Piece will be found through the journey to get to the One Piece and the friends you've made along the way to get to the One Piece. What the One Piece is doesn't necessarily matter to me. What I think is more important is the duality between Luffy and Blackbeard's crews and how their differences affect how they reach the end goal of the story. There's a reason that Luffy was so distraught after losing Ace, but was only brought back from the depths of his own mind by the thought of his own crew.
That was a great moment right there. You shout out to Jinbei, bro. Jinbei did that for Luffy. I'm gonna let him finish before I really go, before I talk about it. But I hope it's not it's the One Piece being the journey along the way, the friends you made. I hope it's not that. I'm sorry. I hope that's no. I don't like that specific idea.
His friends, his backup, his support. Every captain might be the main character of their own story, but the crew is what allows the captain to be such a dynamic figure in the world. Having the One Piece only be found because of Luffy having his crew would be a really powerful way to end the story, seeing that Luffy's crew is the thing that helped him escape from the darkness within himself, and Blackbeard, being the person with a literal darkness ability, isn't going to find the One Piece because he doesn't care about his crew. It's a really cool dynamic in a way. One Piece is a comedy first and foremost, and it's really fitting that the crews that were focused more on the adventure and not the destination are the ones who are able to be more comfortable, more comical in general. And while Luffy and his crew are overjoyed by finding the One Piece, Blackbeard and his crew will be angered, frustrated, and in disbelief. Now, if Jackson Banner's important to all this or not, we'll just have to wait and see.
Hey man, shout out to Kev DOG. I'ma like the video, and like I said, y'all go show Kev some love. The link will be in the description box. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm not really sold on Jackson Banner, right? I kind of think Kev did a disservice to himself, right? Because I believe if Kev would have went more of the connecting Jackson Banner with Brooke, I think he could have really like he could have really went in. I think he could have really made it like a lot more compelling, right? Because kind of like what I said with Brooke, Brooke has Brooke has been shown with some symbolism to Joy Boy, right? Like the Afro, kind of like we talk about the the Afro piece or Lafro piece or whatever. Like there's a lot of stuff that been dropped with Brooke, right? Brooke also knows Bink Saki, which kind of gives us a lot about, it kind of gives us a lot about the whole Joy Boy and Nika and everything. Like the lyrics in Bink Saki, it gives us it gives us something, right? Like a lot of people broke down the whole lyrics to Bink Sake. Um, and that came from Brooke of all people, right? So if anybody like outside of Luffy has been shown to be connected with Joy Boy, like on the Straw Hats, it's been Brooke, right? Now he loosely connected Jackson Banner with Brooke, so I think I think that right there was kind of where like the meat of the connection that he made was, but I feel as though he didn't really go that much in depth with the connection, the possible connection of Jackson, Banner, and Brooke, other than like the fact that they both kind of got these afros and stuff. Very loose, right? Like I feel as though he could have gave us more. That really would have strengthened the theory like up. But he kind of talked a lot about Blackbeard, and I just think if he would have talked more about Brooke, I would have been a little more convinced personally. But I do see where he's going, right? Like he did make a lot of great points about the One Piece being something insignificant, and Blackbeard, if he goes there, he's going to miss it because in order to really notice it, you have to have friends. That was kind of his things. You gotta be close to your crew and have friends. The Blackbeard crew aren't really friends. They just work with each other. All of them might have their own individual goals, and you know, all of them could want the One Piece, right? When they get there, they could be like, "Yo, I want the One Piece. I want the One Piece," and their selfishness and their lack of closeness might actually be what makes them miss out on finding the One Piece. And I really did like that way of looking at it, right? I kind of like that approach to Black Bear not being able to find the One Piece and Luffy being able to find it. So I really did like that. I thought that was a interesting take on finding the One Piece, but I don't know if I don't believe it really helped with the argument of fleshing out Jackson Banner. You know what I mean? Or is it Jason Banner, Jackson Banner, whatever his name is? Um, but I think if he would have went the Brook route, I think that would have been a lot more convincing. If he would have went more into connecting Jackson Banner with Brook, I think that would have been that would have made this argument that would have made this theory 10 times more I guess legit in my eyes, right? I think it would have helped it a lot more personally, but he did make that connection. So I do want to say that he did connect Jackson Banner with Brooke. So you know he is going that I do believe he is going that way. I just think he should have went more in depth with it. That's what I would have liked to see him go more in depth with it, because I think Brooke has shown a lot of Joy Boy symbolism, and it would have just been interesting to see, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Where else was I gonna go with this? Yeah. I mean, that's all I really got for it. Jackson Banner, he's not really. We don't really have much on him, so I get it. I might be asking for a lot because again, this is a character we don't really know much about, right? So it's like he didn't have Kev didn't have much to work with, right? Like I don't know how I don't think it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell because this is a character we only got one small panel of. One small panel. So it bro, it's an uphill battle trying to really sell this theory. So I can't really fault Kev, but it's an uphill battle trying to sell it. But I think he did a good job personally. You know, he did connect Jackson Banner with Brooke, which to me is the most compelling part of the argument is connecting him with Brooke. I just wish he would have went more in detail with that Brooke and Jackson Banner connection. I wish he would have went in more detail because I think it would have made the argument much more stronger in my opinion. But shout out to the whole stronger theory, stronger the horse theory being Zebek. I want to say Dak. That was Dak's. It was either Dak's or Parvision's theory. Shout out to both of them guys. But yeah, you guys let me know what y'all thought. You know, let me know what y'all thought about this theory. Is this something y'all can get behind? Do y'all think Jackson Banner is the Joy Boy? Let me know in the comments what y'all think about Jackson Banner being the second Joy Boy. But yeah, that's the video right there. That's all I really got to add to this theory. The character, he just doesn't have enough to really go off of. So, you know, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell. You know, I'm pretty sure for y'all it might be a tough sell. For me, it's a bit of a tough sell. You know, because we just don't know much about this character. But yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on the theory, your thoughts on my reaction. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Let me know in the comments. Follow me on Twitch so you could catch me live and you can engage with me in real time. Make sure you're a part of the Twitch, especially if you want to catch my live streams. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And make sure you join the Discord. Come be a part of my community. That's the best place to send me videos like this to react to. I have a submission channel in the Discord. Also, if you want to be part of a future stream, future discussion stream, you got to be a part of the Discord. And if you just want to engage with me, that's usually where I'm the most active at. So, like I said, join the Discord. Also, the link to this video the link to this video will be in the description box as well as all those other things. So yeah. Anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff Guy. I'm out of here. Peace.